What is up, everyone? Circon here, the guy who used to make videos on this channel. Don't worry, we'll make more. Soon. But today is a relatively important one. There's a new event going around, Halloween event, lasts for about 2 weeks, I think, where one team plays like a small batch of smaller tanks versus one big tank. That is the Waffenträger. The Waffenträger is also played by regular players, and that's the event. And you can win stuff, get loot boxes and whatnot. But you can also buy, and this is what the video is going to be about, is the Footlockers that you can buy with your hard-earned cash. So, the Footlockers you can buy here, and you get keys. The keys is to play the Waffenträger. Not really important. That important. So, yeah. You can buy these. This is my local currency, which is euros. You can buy 10 for 8 euros. And if you open them, you always get 100 gold. And then you always get some of these rewards next to it. So you get 100 gold and definitely something from this list. Now, the unfortunate part here is that this list is terrible. Okay, so credits don't matter. Okay? It would be like buying credits with your gold. It is horrible. It's not good to get, not at all. Premium account is activated right away. Also not good. Demounting kit, you can get ×1, which is 10 gold worth, or 5, which is 50 gold worth. Now, and then we get to the one thing, there's two things that are worth it. I'd say the credit booster, decent. At least the ×5 is. I'm not sure if the ×1 is. And the training booklet is terrible because it's only 20,000 XP, and it sounds like a big number, but in crew XP that means nothing. And then there's the personal training manual, which is actually really good because that's 850,000, which is quite a lot, especially good for new commanders that already have BIA, stuff like that. And then there's the bonus XP, which is only 50% for 1 hour, which is pretty much terrible. So there is like how many choices are there? 1, 2, 3. There's 7 choices. 2 of them are decent. There's even less choices because these are separate rolls, right? So it's like a 1 in 14 or something like that. Then, unlike the Christmas boxes, you can also re-roll them for gold. But yeah, and you can also, there's, as you can see, there is another slot. You could get an IS8. Or IS8. You can get a tier 8 tank premium. And it's a whole list of these tanks, which is a lot of tanks. You might have some, you might not have any of them. Some of them are quite old, like the IS6, the Löwe, stuff like that, the Super Pershing. And there's a new kit on the block, the T77, which is an American heavy premium at tier 8. It's an autoloader. It looks a lot like the T7, the T74, right? The tier 10. Yeah, so here's what's really weird compared to the Christmas one, is that, yeah, you get 100 gold. A Footlocker, if you buy a single one, is 90 cents, right? Buying 500, the minimum amount of gold is 500, is 225, which means 100 gold is 45 cents. So 100 gold is 45 cents. So the other 45 cents for one Footlocker is in this first slot. And anything but the personal training manual is not worth the 45 cents. Maybe the credits, like I said, ×5. So that's something to be aware of, because yeah, you might always get the 100 gold, but unlike the Christmas boxes, who could like you can get like more gold instead of the 100, right? So you could sometimes get like 100 or something, sometimes 250, yada yada yada. And then there's also the bonuses of the Christmas garage and whatnot. These are pretty much a net loss every time, unless you get a premium. Wargaming gave the content creators, like myself, 200 boxes. I received 7 tier 8. The biggest dry spell in there was 69, nice, Footlockers without a single tier 8. 69 Footlockers. If you do not get a Footlocker within 30 boxes, it is not worth the money you spend on it. Because like I said, you're gonna lose money. And the biggest reason I'm making this video is because they added a mechanic to this where you can re-roll your contents. So you always get 100 gold. The first re-roll to get something else from the chest costs 100 gold. So it's quote unquote free, which it's not because you spent money on it, to re-roll into something else. And that something else could just be just a slot 1. There's no guarantees, obviously, for tier 8. So, at that point, if you reroll and you get the same thing, which could happen, you can reroll a demounting kit into a demounting kit, you've lost money 100%. The second reopening is 250, so you've already lost 100 from the first reroll into the 250 from there. But we know that the 250 gold will cost basically €1.10. A box is worth 90 cents. So, re-rolling more than once is stupid because you're better off buying a second box. And you can re-roll it 3 to 5 times. And the last 3 times you reopen it, it's 500 gold each. Which means it's 1,850 gold to re-roll everything. Which, well, it's a nice meme because you can look it up at 850. Let's say 1750. It's €7. So instead of redoing one whole box and losing gold, and which is worth €7, you could buy 7 boxes. So this whole reroll event is a giant trap. And the only argument I could make for this is that they want to lower everybody's gold, but I specifically mean people with like a lot of clan wars gold, or like competition gold, events gold. Like there's a lot of big clans that have a lot of gold as far as I know. And that's like the only reason I could validate you re-rolling this. Because why would you re-roll for €7 in one box instead of just buying 7 more boxes if you really want this content? It makes no sense. Also, in the past, Wargaming have said that it's not really gambling because you always get your money's worth from the boxes. Now, I will argue that the Christmas boxes have always been good value for money. There is a slight chance that even in the Christmas boxes, the money you spent on one box, you get less gold for than just buying the raw gold. However, with a month-long event where your garage gets buffed and you get buffs on all of the games you play, I would always say the Christmas boxes over the last 3 years have been really worth it. But these boxes don't do anything outside of the rewards. And if you buy a Footlocker for 90 cents and you get 100 gold, that's half the money you spent on it. And then, for example, you get 5 demounting kits. Every demounting kit is 10 gold, is 150 gold. So you're still lacking 50 gold. You would still be better off buying just gold. In a lot of these cases, you were not going to get your value back. In which case, this is a lot more gambling, or just straight up gambling, than the Christmas boxes ever were. Because the Christmas boxes, I feel like you definitely got your value back and then some. It was like a celebration. Whereas this is like, feels way more like a cash grab and a lot more like gambling. Because even with 5 demounting kits, you're missing 50 gold. You're better off buying 200 gold. As I always say with these loot boxes, don't buy these to snipe a specific tank. Don't buy this just so you can try and get a T-77. Don't go into this with the mindset of, I'm gonna go get the T-77. It's always a bad idea. It's a bad idea during Christmas even. If you want to snipe the double barrel, for example. But again, Christmas boxes were better because there were like several new tanks, like the E75TS, for example. But don't ever snipe these things, for the love of God. And these are a really bad life choice. And way less valuable than Christmas. So if Christmas is the same as last 3 years, where you get garage buffs, you get like crew from it, you get camouflages, you get the raw gold almost always back, you get up to 7 premium days, I think. And there's usually 1 or 2 premium tanks that are completely new. There's less premium tanks in them. That is way better value for that whole month of playing. Like, if you play a lot, the Christmas boxes are so much more worth it. And those loot boxes, I am actually kind of okay with the Christmas ones. But these ones, especially the reroll mechanic, are really, really, really not cool, to say the least. And I really don't know what they're thinking with this, outside of just trying to lure people in. Also, some other small things. If you roll a tank, if you get a tier 8 tank out of this, you can still reroll it, which I did, funnily enough, with my last slot, because I was looking at the Twitch chat, and I just clicked reroll all the time because I didn't expect anything, and I actually rerolled an STRV away. But why that button is even there when you get a tank is a bit weird. You could argue, devil's advocate, that you should allow people to reroll because they already have the tank, blah, 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 but we all know that the gold value is way worse, is way better. So my 200 boxes, if we include the STRV, I got 8 tier 8. I got 10 million credits. I got some premium days, and I got like 100 demounting kits, and a couple of the books. A lot of the bad books, and a couple of the good ones. Overall, over 200 boxes. Now keep in mind, that's like 160 euros or something. I definitely got my money's worth and then some. Even raw gold, even if I don't take the 2 tanks that I didn't have yet, which was the VK and the T77, I 100% got my money back. And then some. But I had a streak of 69 loot boxes, the premium ones that you can only get by paying, with nothing in it. Nothing. 10 boxes is 8 bucks, is 8 euros. Times 7, right? So it's a lot of freaking money to not get a tank. And yeah, some wargaming might say, yeah, but you get your money's worth, blah, blah, blah. You get credits and boosters and blah, blah, blah. They're not worth anything, guys, okay? The personal training manual is the only real thing that's valuable. The rest is, yeah, the credits are okay-ish. The credit booster, the times 5, those are okay. Everything else is not worth it. The credits are not worth it. The mounting kits are definitely not worth it because it's mathematically shit. So, yeah, if you wanted to, if you were like, I bet some people save up money for Christmas to spend on their hobby. And if your main hobby is World of Tanks, you're definitely getting Christmas boxes. And if you're now like, maybe I should buy these instead, I really would. I find no I can't recommend these at all. The Christmas ones are way better historically. Now they could be worse now because they might stack them with demounting kits and other stuff we really don't want. But and funnily enough, I think I called this out on stream way back before demounting kits. Like, the demounting kits were going to be introduced. Everybody was complaining, oh, we don't have enough demounting kits and all that, right? Which is, to some extent, is a complaint for the patch, right? But now, they're going to be like, oh, you want demounting kits? Oh, we'll give you demounting kits. We'll be the good guys. But they're not, because it's extremely bad value to even get 5 demounting kits in this chest. It's really, really bad. So, yeah. The loot boxes, same thing as always. Don't buy them to snipe something. They are usually decent for money, but these ones are pretty bad compared to the Christmas ones we've seen. And the reroll mechanic is the one thing I want to warn you for. You're better off buying more of the loot boxes than buying the gold to reroll it. And even in general, unless you have a whole lot of gold and you don't care, the rerolls are so not worth it. There you go. I'll have a video on the T77 tomorrow. I played it a bunch because I got 2 of them. So one got converted to gold. The other tanks I got was like the M4, the STRV, PK. And yeah, if you already own the tank, you get gold for it, plus a garage slot, plus something from slot 1 here. So yeah, there you go. I would say hard pass, wait for Christmas, to be honest. Yeah. There you go. You can still get a bunch of stuff from the event itself. You can get some of these other Footlockers by playing. And it's a little bit of a weird event because you need keys to play the waffle. And from all accounts I've seen that the waffle is just too OP for most of the teams to win. You need to platoon up to really win, but kind of makes sense. So like, I'm not gonna get too much into the event, but I just want to say that the Footlockers, I mean, whew, I would hard pass. I would say wait for Christmas if you want to spend money on the game. Wait for Christmas. That's what I would do. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you on the next one tomorrow. T77 video. Okay, peace out.